Equality and diversity is a massive topic, and it can be quite anxiety provoking. Where do I start? What if I get it wrong? What if I get a legal challenge or whatever? And we really hope that this course is going to help you as you make that journey to becoming a little bit more skilled and a little bit more confident. However, just a few indicators of some of the topics you'll be covering to give you a bit of context. We're going to think about the legal context for equality and diversity. We're going to think a bit about some of the tools that you've got to help you. And I can't recommend highly enough here good websites. The Human Rights Commission have got an excellent website. Citizens Advice Bureau have got some really good pragmatic information about equalities and how to try and include and make our workplaces and places that we volunteer at more diverse. But most importantly, I want to challenge you to never lose sight of the individual. We can be so busy in equality and diversity, thinking about our policies and thinking about law. We forget to start with the person in front of us. And my most important tip for you would be to say, ask somebody, what can I do to help? I can think of a little scenario, true story, somewhere I used to work, and there was somebody with dyslexia, and she came up to me one day and said, Jill, if I get to one more team day and I find the handouts printed on yellow, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to rip them up and stamp on them. Somebody had felt they were being helpful and had read that people with dyslexia might find a different coloured background more useful. For this individual, it was not useful at all. And actually, what was much more useful for her was that we would send the information out a couple of weeks before the event, so she could take time to read it or use software that would speak it out loud to her. A really small example, but a really, really good example of the importance of actually just talking to the individual. Another much more positive story, I was talking recently to somebody with hearing difficulties, and he was ecstatic about the pandemic. And I was a bit confused, because most of us found that quite a challenging time, didn't we? And he said to me, the pandemic moved learning online. He said, I love things like Zoom and Teams because I can pinpoint the speaker, I can make their face really big, and it means that I am not worrying about getting to the course early so I can sit at the front because I rely on lip reading. And of course, on most software that we use to train virtually, there's also the option to turn on captions. And that for me was just a really positive thought about how something that many of us have found challenging was really useful to somebody. So I hope those two scenarios have encouraged you to think about the individual. Thank you.